me warmer than I should be.
Yo, what's going on? This is gonna be a video about there's a saying or there's a quote, being able to sit at the master's feet. And what does that mean? In my time, again, I still do it. I sit at all different jack trades, let's say ideas, masters of all sorts of things, just like let's say a basketball player, like let's say a Kobe Bryant, he once sat at a master's feet. Let's say it was Jordan, and was like, hey man, can I kick some concepts with you? Can I go back and forth with you with some ideas? And you remember, this is at a high level, so this is already a person that is already conquered or is conquering or was at the time at their height of that sport, but still able to be a student to someone before him. And I do this with everybody in any field. I'm okay with being a student. I love being a student. I'll be a student to anybody that's doing or has a better idea of whatever I want to tap into, whatever hobbies, things that I'm personally working on or whatever. I become a student. I sit at the master's feet, and just like a kid, I start asking questions. What is that? What does that do? What's the name of that thing? And I see a lot of people, they struggle to do this because, when you first come into this world, you want to, or some people want to, let's say, push their own path. They want to be able to make their own pathway, and it's their way and it's their ideas, and they think they're so brilliant, not knowing that there's been a lineage of men that already made that pathway through a bunch of wisdom and knowledge over the years. And you're kind of just hustling backwards. You're just kind of going against the grain. And when it comes to, let's say, communication, and that's what I emphasize a lot, because that's what it is. Once you get to a certain level of where you can read something, just say like if it was a sport like basketball, you can tell when someone's bullshitting. You can tell when something is like, just fluff, or someone's doing the real deal, or someone is saying something valid. And I want to say how society, I feel bad for younger men, because how society is moving is teaching younger men to just put up this freaking front, and it really has nothing to do with that. To put up this front of the style, looks, and money, and it really has nothing to do with that. Does it play an effect? Yes, but is it the end all be all? No. It really has to do with character development. And what do I have to say about that? True confidence comes from what? What if you couldn't wear that name brand? What if you didn't have a car? What if you couldn't afford to, let's say, get a haircut, or look good, or present yourself the way you wanted to present yourself? What if you couldn't do all these little things? Would you still be your confident self? Would you still be able to make someone laugh and smile? Would you still be able to add value into a room when you have nothing physical to give them but your presence? You see, that is the biggest question. And if you have the answer to these questions, or if you know how to do what I just said, which is bring value into a room without offering anything but yourself, you see, now you're tapping into something that's more valuable than those things that you may bring. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't even put emphasis in that because they want to create something first. They want to show the world, hey man, look what I built, look at what I created. And the men do this. Trust me, men do this. Men are the ones that are very rigid. They want to prove, they want to validate themselves to everyone externally about the things they have built. Hey man, I built this. You should respect me for it. You know, I worked so hard for this. Look what I have accomplished. Look at all my accomplishments. Now I should be rewarded with attention. Now I should be rewarded with sex. Now I should be rewarded with X, Y, and Z. But that's a foolish game to play. I'm gonna tell you that. That's a foolish game to play. And playing that game eventually turns you into a guy that doesn't have a strong foundation. A man that has to rely on external things to get him, you know, the things he may desire and want. And when you get it from that place, the reward itself doesn't even feel that good. Versus getting something from a place of genuine desire. And what do I mean by genuine desire? I mean, someone actually likes you for you. Someone actually fucks with you because you are it. You are cool. You are the thing that's valued more than what is getting given. And you know, it's a lot of, let's say, removing false ideas about yourself to get to that point. Because I know how rigid life is. I know how dark life can be. You know, there's dark sides and, you know, stuff that people don't really talk about in the light. And, you know, that's a lot of removing. You got to remove a lot of stuff. But if you get to that state, oh my God, you become very powerful. You become very powerful. And it's an art. It's a technique. It's an art. It's techniques in there. And it's a lot of self-development. It's a lot of inner work, inner engineering, you know, that goes on. And once you do that, you're able to, you know, for women, the world is their oyster, you know, when they have that, the beauty and the body and the looks and stuff. And for a man, it's hard for men to get to that place too, to be on an equal playing field when it comes to a value exchange with a woman. But once you get it, oh my God, you know, it's a fun place to be in. It's like you finally got home. You finally here. You finally get it. You finally are able to get access to the things, you know, you want without trying. All right, I'm gonna see you.